Hello, I'm Kevin Berger, author of Atheism is Untenable. There is no shortage of channels of religious individuals engaging in apologetics to defend their positions, and there is no shortage of channels of atheists using counter-apologetics to argue against them. But what about atheists' defense of their own positions? Who is holding them accountable? On this channel, I don't engage in apologetics. Instead, I apply the principles of polemics and skepticism to atheism and the claims made by atheists, of which, despite their insistence to the contrary, there are many. This is Justified Nonetheless. Well, again, tumbleweeds. I'm here once again with the next installment of my Omnibus. Today we'll be looking at my fifth argument from ontology, so let's get right to it. The Nonbelief is Incoherent Omnibus. Number 5. The argument from the principle of identity. Premise 1. Each entity is identical to itself. According to Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz, the law of identity, which he expresses as everything is what it is the first primitive truth of reason, which is affirmative. He stated, the statement that a thing is what it is prior to the statement that it is not another thing. Premise 2. Each entity is equal to the sum total of its constituent parts. The mereological sum principle states that the whole is identical to the sum of its parts. Premise 3. If the constituent parts of two entities are the same, the two entities themselves are the same. Leibniz's law states that if two objects have all the same properties, they are in fact one and the same. Premise 4. Beliefs are propositional states that manifest in reality as corresponding neural activity. A number of philosophers have suggested that the content of one's beliefs depends entirely on the things going on inside one's head and not at all on the external world except via the effects of the latter on one's brain. Consequently, if a genius neuroscientist were to create a molecule-for-molecule duplicate of your brain and maintain it in a vat, stimulating it artificially so it underwent exactly the same sequence of electrical and chemical events as your actual brain, that brain would have exactly the same beliefs as you. Conclusion. Therefore, if the neural activity that constitutes nonbelief is the same as the neural activity that constitutes disbelief, then these doxastic positions are the same. Premise 5. The neural activity that constitutes nonbelief is indistinguishable from the neural activity that constitutes disbelief. A distinction in the neural activity that corresponds to nonbelief and the neural activity that corresponds to disbelief or belief in the negation has not been substantiated, nor has any independently verifiable means to distinguish between them been provided. This is a distinction without a difference fallacy. A distinction in the concepts does not substantiate a difference in the phenomena to which the concepts refer. This is a reification fallacy. A distinction in the words does not substantiate a difference in the phenomena to which the terms refer. This is a lexical fallacy. A distinction in the definitions does not substantiate a difference in the phenomena to which the concepts refer. This is an appeal to definition fallacy. A distinction in the descriptions does not substantiate a difference in the phenomena to which the concepts refer. This is a fallacy of misplaced concreteness. Conclusion 2. Therefore, it is reasonable to conclude that the doxastic position of nonbelief is the same as the doxastic position of disbelief. Despite acknowledging the conceptual and linguistic distinction between nonbelief and disbelief, the only thing that ultimately matters is whether or not these distinctions actually manifest in reality. Otherwise, we are left with a distinction without a difference fallacy. Okay, so that is a fifth argument from ontology. That puts us halfway through the ontological arguments on this particular subject. Till next time, remember, even if your beliefs aren't necessarily true, they may just be justified nonetheless.